lot of people miss this, so I thought I'd let you in on this test. The Tesla Model S Plaid was compared to the Porsche Taycan GTS. Yes, of course, the Porsche is a more expensive electric car by around $50,000 US, so quite a big difference in terms of price. And therefore, the Porsche Taycan GTS, it's kind of positioned more as a performance version of the Taycan, much in the same way that the Tesla Model S Plaid is a performance version of the Model S. Now, a lot of people say EVs can't go around corners, or at least they certainly say that about Teslas. They say that the Tesla Model S is just a big heavy car, doesn't go around corners. Any Porsche would easily beat it. Well, interestingly, that's not actually true. Here's what happened. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. I've got a good friend who has a Porsche Taycan. And I've got to say, I think it's a really nice car. So I'm not throwing shade at the Taycan here. I'm just letting you know that people who make comments are not generally all that educated. Generally, it's more of an emotional feeling. They feel emotionally connected to something, to an idea, to a principle, to a belief. And when something challenges those beliefs, well, they often refuse to accept that their paradigm shift, their belief needs to change as a result. It's very hard to do that. The Tesla Model S Plaid, without the track pack, this was not the Model S Plaid with the track pack, which obviously has much better wheels and tires, far better brakes, was compared to the Porsche Taycan in the Moose test. It's a really good way of testing the handling of a car and also the chassis control. Despite the use of a yoke steering wheel, which the tester said was a disadvantage in the Tesla Model S, the test driver managed to do incredibly well. In fact, better than what fans expected, and fans are having a really tough time dealing with this. A lot of Porsche fans who have bought the Porsche Taycan, I think a lot of them are not people who are unwilling to accept change, or that Tesla could make good cars. I think a lot of them are fine with this. But there's a significant percentage of Porsche fanboys who are basically still crying. And I mean, these guys, they heard about this a little while ago. They're still crying. I mean, I'm still seeing these guys, struggle to accept what happened in this test. I've heard that some of them are seeing counselors still. They're basically trying to be talked out of doing bad things to themselves because they can't handle what happened. Now, of course, I'm joking. I don't think that happened, but it could have. It could have. It's possible. Some people are pretty butthurt over this. So the Tesla Model S Plaid with the track package now does have the Nürburgring track record for a car costing less than $2 million. That's electric. Of course, the rematch Navira, which costs, I think it's about $6 million, around there, $6 million, that holds the record at the moment for the fastest electric production car around the ring. Now, there is an EV, a supercar EV that went quicker than that, but it was never really made. It was, in fact, a Japanese electric car, but we never really saw production happen. So production car fastest is the rematch Navira, but fastest production car that costs under $6 million is right now the Tesla Model S Plaid. Now, I'm going to guess that Porsche will take back this record at some point in time. Tesla might take it back again. However, YouTube channel and Moose test specialist KM77, I'll put a link in the description below to their channel, showed that the Tesla Model S Plaid can do some pretty amazing things around corners, which is contrary to the thousands of comments that I've seen posted on YouTube, places like CarWow, Tesla wins a Jag race, and everyone says, yeah, but they can't go around a corner. Well, obviously those people still can't accept the fact that Tesla Model 3 performance actually beat the BMW M2 on the Top Gear test track, and that shocked the Top Gear guys who drove the car. They were all just like, what? No, this can't be right. It did. It actually beat it by a big margin, by 2 seconds. And the Top Gear test track is a small track. So the 2-second margin was enormous. Anyhow, the Model S Plaid was fitted with the Pilot Sport 4S tires, 265 rear section tires, and of course, 265s on the front, 295s on the rear. But obviously, the track pack has wider tires, better tires than that. Anyhow, In the test, it showed the Model S Plaid can get around corners in the slalom course pretty well. The result was 21.8 seconds, slightly slower in the slalom test than the Porsche Taycan GTS, which did it in 21.5. So 21.8 for the Tesla versus 21.5 for the Taycan GTS. But very good results for both of them considering how big and heavy they both are. In the Moose test, the first pass had an entry speed for the Tesla of 78 km an hour, 48.5, which was slightly faster than the benchmark performance of 77 kilometers or 47.8. However, the Tesla Model S Plaid did it quite easily, so they tested it again. The yoke steering wheel wasn't an issue for the driver during these aggressive maneuvers. They're not really that aggressive, but you get my point. The Taycan Turbo S passed the test at this speed as well, at what's considered the benchmark speed, which is 78 kilometers an hour or 48.5 miles an hour. However, they ran the Model S Plaid through again. It did 82 kilometers per hour or 51 miles per hour without any issues. At that speed, the Porsche Taycan GTS hit more than 3 cones. In other words, it completely failed at that speed. It just wasn't capable of getting around at that speed that the Model S Plaid did it in, 51 miles an hour. So not a hugely fast speed for, say, a race car, but for a family-sized vehicle, a very, very impressive number. At an entry speed of 84 kilometers an hour or 52.2 miles an hour, the driver said the yoke wasn't the best. The car would be better without the yoke, and he thinks he could do a better time without using the yoke and with using a normal steering wheel instead. So obviously now you can, if you want to, order the car without the yoke. Now apparently Tesla's regen was part of the reason that it did better. The Porsche Taycan has a less regen capability, so less ability to brake as well, using regen braking, meaning putting battery power back into the battery pack. And I think this is a big thing with EVs actually. If you're going to buy an EV, just consider that. Does it have full regen? Can you do complete stop-start? You don't really want to waste your brakes on your EV if you don't have to. Why would you want to waste money? Think about it. Every time you brake, costs you money, right? Advantage of an EV, doesn't cost you money, you save money, puts energy back into the battery. Now, a lot of EVs don't have full regen. I just don't understand why that is. So that's something you should actually consider. And obviously on the channel, I try to mention that when I talk about different cars, different reviews, etc. When I mention new cars, I'll try to mention whether or not that car does have full regen or not. However, the reviewers said that was a bit of an advantage for the Tesla Model S because the full regen allowed it to be able to potentially handle better. But they said they still believe the Tesla chassis was better than the Porsche Taycan GTS chassis. Now, the Tesla is a slightly bigger car than the Porsche. So I am quite surprised at this result. I'm still surprised. Both cars did pretty well. But what surprises me the most is just how many people refuse to believe that EVs can handle well, that Teslas can handle well, or that EVs in general can handle well. Actually, the reality is here. The MG4, the rear-wheel drive MG4, has received some rave reviews for its handling capabilities. It's very, very easy, remember, to get an EV to have 50-50 perfect weight distribution. That's something we used to see, as a new supercar would come out, Porsche would say, oh, look, we've got this new supercar. It's better than our previous version. It's got 50-50 weight distribution, perfect weight distribution. Now, you find that there's many EVs with that feature. And remember to keep this in mind. The center of gravity with an EV is lower. The battery pack is at the base of the car, so the weight of the car is evenly distributed at the base. With an internal combustion vehicle, the weight is high up in the car and it's pretty much all at the front. So you need to try and work out how you can move things around. Where do we put the petrol tank? Should we put that in the back of the car to try and even the weight up? But when there's fuel in the car, it changes the weight distribution. If you have, say, an 80, 90 litre tank and you fill it up, the car's going to handle quite differently to if that tank was almost empty. This is one of the big advantages of EVs. I can really see EVs thrashing internal combustion engine race cars of all types. And remember when Elon Musk issued a challenge, he said, why don't we get these Formula E race cars, which we have now, get them to face off against internal combustion, the F1. Get them to have a race against each other. Well, F1 was crickets. I wonder why that was. I'm not really sure, but if you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.